You're about to learn something that changes how you see your own life. Welcome to Doodle Breakdown. You looked in the mirror this morning. You saw your face. You've seen it thousands of times. But here's the strange part. You have never actually seen your own face. Not once. Not really. What you've seen is a reflection. A flipped, reversed, backwards version of yourself. And your brain has quietly convinced you that this backwards version is the real one. It isn't. Think about the last photo someone took of you. The one where you thought, that doesn't even look like me. You weren't wrong. That photo is closer to the truth than your mirror ever was. And your brain hated it for exactly that reason. Why does this happen? The answer starts with a very simple fact about mirrors. A mirror doesn't just reflect you, it reverses you left to right. The part in your hair that falls on the left in the mirror falls on the right. A mole on your right cheek appears on your left. Every asymmetry on your face, and every human face is asymmetric, gets flipped. Now here's where it gets interesting. You've looked at this flipped version of yourself every single day, probably since you were a toddler. Thousands of hours, tens of thousands of reflections. Your brain has built its entire model of what you look like around this reversed image. Psychologists call this the mere exposure effect. The researcher Robert Zayonk studied this extensively in the 1960s. His finding was simple but powerful. The more you're exposed to something, the more you tend to like it. Familiarity breeds preference. Not truth, preference. So when you see your mirror image, you're not seeing accuracy. You're seeing comfort. Your brain has fallen in love with the version of your face it sees most often, even though that version doesn't exist anywhere else in the world. Everyone else sees the other you, the unflipped one. Your friends, your co-workers, strangers on the street, they all see your face the way a camera sees it. Unreversed, real, and that version is the one that shows up in photographs. This is why so many people recoil slightly at photos of themselves. In 1977, researchers Theodore Mita, Marshall Dermer, and Nancy Knight published a now famous study on exactly this mismatch. They asked participants to look at two versions of their own photograph. One was the true image. The other was mirror reversed. Then they asked, which one do you prefer? The participants overwhelmingly preferred the reversed version, the one that looked like their mirror, not the one the world actually sees. But the study didn't stop there. The researchers then asked close friends of the participants to make the same choice. Which photo looks more like your friend? And the friends chose the opposite. They preferred the true, unreversed image, the one that matched the face they actually knew. Two people, looking at the same two photos, coming to opposite conclusions. One had a lifetime of mirror exposure. The other had a lifetime of face-to-face exposure. Same person, two different truths. So which face is really yours? Neither one is more real than the other technically. Your face has no single fixed appearance. It changes with lighting, angle, expression, the position of the camera. But there is a version the world sees consistently, and it is not the one you see in the mirror every morning. This mismatch runs deeper than vanity. It touches something more fundamental about how humans build a sense of self. You don't experience your own face the way you experience anyone else's. You experience it almost entirely through reflection and photography. Two forms of representation, and both are already once removed from reality. Compare that to how you experience a friend's face. You see it live, in motion, from multiple angles, under changing light, thousands of times, directly, with your own eyes. No glass, no lens, no reversal. Their face is imprinted on you with a kind of accuracy your own face never gets the chance to achieve. There's an even deeper layer to this. Self-recognition itself, the basic ability to know that a reflection is you, is not something humans are simply born knowing. Psychologist Gordon Gallup Jr. explored this in his landmark mirror test research in the 1970s. He placed a small mark on an animal's face, where it could only be seen in a mirror, then watched to see if the animal reached for its own face rather than the mirror. Chimpanzees passed. So did a small number of other species. Human infants don't pass this test until around 18 months old. Before that age, a baby looking in a mirror doesn't know it's looking at itself. It reacts to the reflection like it's looking at another baby. Self-recognition, in other words, is learned. It's built, it's not automatic. And what gets built, in humans specifically, is built around a reversed image. You didn't just learn to recognize your face. You learned to recognize a version of your face that nobody else on earth sees the same way you do. There's something almost lonely in that. Your most familiar image, the face you associate with yourself more than any other image in existence, is one that exists nowhere outside your own bathroom mirror. Every photograph breaks that illusion a little. Every video call breaks it further. That's part of why so many people report disliking video calls specifically. Your own face is on the screen, unreversed, moving in real time, and it looks subtly, unsettlingly wrong to you. Not because it's a bad picture, because it's an accurate one. Modern life has slowly been forcing this mismatch into the open. 100 years ago, most people rarely saw an unreversed image of themselves at all. Mirrors were common, cameras were not. Now cameras are everywhere. Phones, laptops, security footage, video calls. The reversed self and the real self collide constantly, and every collision produces that small flicker of unfamiliarity. So what do you do with that? Nothing really. You can't retrain a lifetime of mirror exposure in an afternoon. But there's something worth sitting with here. The face you think of as yours, the one you check before you leave the house, the one you picture when you imagine your own reflection, is not the face the rest of the world has ever known you by. Somewhere between the mirror and the photograph lives a version of you that you have never fully met. You looked in the mirror this morning. You saw your face, but you've never actually seen it. Not the one everyone else knows. That face has been looking back at other people your entire life, while you've only ever known its reflection. If this made you see something in your own life a little differently, that's the whole point. Hit subscribe if you want more of these. The strange, ancient reasons behind the things you do every day. And if something in this one stuck with you, drop it in the comments. It helps this channel more than you'd think.